at 12. Going to 12. And then there's going to be a drama at 12. That's not end at 12. And then she can do her thing. She wants to do something. So this is an open invitation for whoever would like to share your experience. Whatever you'd like, but the general thing is that which helped you, the high experiences, the low experiences, and what you think you'd like to take with you. Please. We'd like to begin. Okay, I was looking to see what have it here in our life. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
I really appreciated that we had Harinam on the schedule this year. So
We're
just
planning it for the Christmas, because of many days of this. That's it. Okay. No, she doesn't want to do anything. Is anybody else in the room that would like to share?
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. This was my first experience participating in a Festival of Holy Name, and yesterday was an amazing experience. I have chanted 64 rounds for the first time in my life, and I was wishing so that I have heard that when we are chanting with holy Vaishnavas, we get a spiritual experience, taste of holy name. And I was asking from our elder devotees whether you, Maharaj, will be able to chant with us. And thanks to Krishna, thanks to you, dear Guru Maharaj. You were chanting with us, and I was so in ecstatic mood, and I'm still in ecstatic mood. And yeah, and as you have said, half of presentations I was not understanding due to English, but I got spiritual bhakti. Thank you very much.
You speak English. There's a devotee from China, and she says, I speak two languages. I speak Chinese, and I speak Chinese English. So you speak.
I'm not Chinese. I'm from.
I'm just,
Yeah.
English.
Thank you.
So I think you're being modest about what you understood. Maybe you didn't understand that.
And I'm so excited to get Srimad Bhagavatam in Russian language and start reading.
Well, are there persons that you'll be able to read in Russian with? Because reading this summer is always nice. Do you know anyone who does that? Do you know anyone else who you can read with?
Yes, I know. Yeah. I was just.
At least one person, 2, 3 people. Nice. So read with someone. That's nice.
Yeah.
We'll share, but you'll also stay with it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Very Krishna. Utsaha. With me, Utsaha means enthusiasm.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity that we got yesterday to do the 64 rounds. We have been chanting for a while, and into so many services, but some point of time we lost the focus that the whole point of Krishna consciousness is taking the holy name to the heart. And yesterday was a wonderful opportunity, and the presentation that Paramrup Prabhu did, it was wonderful. Like whenever we were chanting, we were able to envision the each part of Krishna, Radha Syamasundar, and focus on the part and develop that mood. That was a surreal experience for me. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I have attended many of these retreats here, but yesterday was 64 was my first time. And the one thing, it was slow for me initially. When I started chanting, it was slow. Then I kept the pace. Maybe after 20 rounds, I don't even know I completed 48 rounds. And then after all this, one miracle happened. That miracle is we are actually chanting, asking for the service of Krishna, Radharani, Hare, 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 give me service of Krishna. And evening, there is something popped up that the Chintamani Mataji was supposed to do the dressing, and she had a desire to go for Harinam, and she was looking for someone can do the night dressing for Radha Syamasundar. Then I grabbed it, so I felt, see, Krishna is giving an opportunity to serve. So we are actually praying. What are we praying? We are praying to give service of Krishna. So that was my realization. Thank you very much for that.
Well, Jamuna Jeevana made a comment that the other times we've had these events, the 64-round day has become a 32-round day, which is a half a day. But as it happens, because the 4th of July was not on the weekend, it worked out so we can have a full 64 rounds and have that going high enough in the evening.
And also I was here with the devotees, and I have some strong affection, what I can say, strong desire to go and chant along with Tulasi garden. So I went home back, I chanted around 12 rounds, I think 16 rounds there. It was in a different mood because I don't know what happens when you chant in front of Tulasi. It is different experience. So it was really good for me, all alone. The weather was so good, and then it was very kind of soothing experience. I heard many times if you go under the shelter or shadow of Tulsi Maharani, that will be ecstatic. Some kind of experience I had yesterday. Thank you.
Well, Mataji commented about chanting with you all. I don't know if you heard it, but I was up at 1:30. Mataji. I was up at 1:30 a.m. 1:30. So I finished. I mean, I could have because I've got another seminar after this, another seminar after that, another seminar after that. Now I'm going to tell you to do this. How did you do? Is it first British one? That's it. Little something.
Thank you, Maharaj. It was very special. The last time I chanted 64 rounds, it was actually 72 rounds, was back in 2012, Maharaj, when you did the Japa retreat in Gitanagari. And I was contemplating the question I asked you and your response to me the morning of, or the previous morning. And so that really was a very moving exchange, especially as it relates to shifting from self-centeredness to centered around Krishna. And when I was giving class, something that came out spontaneously during the talk was how determination touches hearts, and our attempt at japa is to touch Krishna's heart, to express our determination to touch Krishna's heart. And so even though there was some feelings and feeling moved by Krishna's kindness during japa, I was seeing a shift, a little bit of a shift, that it really doesn't matter what I'm experiencing. It's more important that Krishna be pleased by this effort. And that led to more feeling pained by my own disqualification and grateful to Krishna. Yes, Maharaj. Yeah. I think and throughout the whole 64 rounds, Maharaj, what sort of gave me a lot of humility, gratitude, and direction in my japa was that snippet of Prabhupada speaking, where he says, "What have you got? What is of value? It is nothing. The only thing is your feeling, Krishna. I am most rotten, fallen, but I brought this thing for you. Kindly take it." So that it brought this thing for you is me. I'm bringing me that's rotten and fallen for you, Krishna. So the whole, I recited that out of memory. I didn't look at my phone as you requested with pretty please. Vishikanta. I look at the phone for 9 hours in the day to just, I will admit that there was, pick, look at it, no. And I stopped myself. So it was a very special experience, but what I'm taking as like the thing to go forward with is shifting from self-centeredness to Krishna's pleasure, Maharaj. And it's a very, I think, a deep thing, and I'm just sort of maybe touching the shore of. So I'm very appreciative of your doing all of this.
I don't usually call it.
I don't have anything very relevant to the chanting aspect to share because I didn't chant yesterday. But I did have a few very nice conversations over the course of the weekend with different devotees, just reflecting on some of the discussions that were had in the class, some of the questions that were asked, and I think, these days I find it's almost like when someone expresses that they're having a challenge, it's almost more inspiring
than if they say everything's going fine, because it's very relatable and it's very I mean, even hearing Yamuna Jivan Prabhu share about that was very touching to hear. And even as he's expressing his feeling of not being worthy, of course, I feel his genuine emotion there, and then simultaneously, as an observer, I feel that he's worthy, right? Like I think devotees feel that looking at each other, like it seems like very appropriate to look at someone else and feel like, no, you are worthy, but to look at ourselves and feel that we're not worthy. And so having these kind of exchanges over the course of the weekend with some devotees was very touching for me. That was the highlight that I had.
Exactly the same point which I was going to ask you, which is about I and mine, and then the spiritual dimension of it, which is I am yours and you are mine. And she just repeated you, Maharaj, but when she said it, I'm like, I'm getting it. I'm finally starting to get it. I am Krishna's. I know this is just like, I'm just like, open the door, right? I'm Krishna, I'm yours. And it just feels so wonderful. I cannot even express fully, but that brings like dependence on Krishna, because I see so much in myself. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it. But no, Krishna can do what he wants with me. I need to let go and let him.
What about the second part?
I've heard that this is a very high level, so I'm not going to touch that.
Well, here's what's within the shoe. It's something similar to what community was sharing about the 7.5 and it's yours anyway, but you just kind of accept. What is it that you work? So if there's two consciousness. I, which is I am yours. And then mine. So what's mine? Nothing's mine. You're mine. But if there is something that's mine, my relationship, not Krishna is in my pocket, but my relationship with you is my everything. I am yours, and you say, my relationship with you is all that I possess. Even if I was devotee on the name of God, leave me. Possess it. What do you possess? The relationship with Krishna. Nothing to possess. Literally possess Krishna. Now, people woke up. They possess Krishna. They control Krishna. They don't think I'm going to control Krishna. But they control Krishna. They don't know. Krishna is controlled by the heart. Krishna is meditate on the second half. It may take a while, because like you said, that was number 4 and 1 thing to do. But meditate on it. And then stay with it. There's something about visually that helps you fast. Imagine on glass and good night. Just stay with it. This magnet, those two phrases, I am yours and you're mine. That's connected. And hold it steady. But you may be able to feel understanding vision density. But just hold it. Be the best spiritual reality. And then the power of Krishna. Mystery will preserve and transform the deep time with the ecstasy and the free time of the universe, one day plane of wisdom. This time is. And the medium of the service. I am yours. And that relationship, that's mine. That's I don't possess anything else. Akinchanatvam. Another phrase that I used in the course of that presentation. Akinchanatvam. Ananyagatitvam is I don't possess anything. I am yours. Akinchanatvam. Yeah.
During the reflection and integration circle that I had the privilege to facilitate, I encouraged all of us to write down our sankalpa. So in doing that exercise, I shared mine. Something that I've noticed when I chant is that every distraction that my mind goes to, it's because of affinity or identification with a particular upadhi.
With a particular
Upadhi.
upadhi.
So, seeing how last year when my father passed away, every upadhi got burnt to ashes, whether that was the upadhi of being an Air Force officer, the Indian flag was placed on his body because he was an Air Force officer, there was a whole ceremony about that, or the identification of being the head of the household, and all of those upadhis. So when my mind was wandering yesterday, I would tell my mind, yes, this too shall be burnt. When, the insurmountable snake of time burns me to ashes, yes, this too shall be burnt. The only thing that will last will be my relationship with you, Guru Maharaj.
All the temporary goes and that remains.
And your presence in this space, and chanting in your presence was such a powerful experience.
I'm glad I didn't get up at midnight.
Me too. So that sustained me, Guru Maharaj, just your presence and knowing that the only upadhi, the only identity that will remain after this body is burnt will be my relationship with you. So thank you.
Well, a comment and a compliment. Because I was seated like this, and you were right there. The deity's over here, but, I moved my chair, but you were right there. So your posture and, you physically, you're doing things that would enhance focus and concentration. It's like, a picture from head, neck, and spine straight. You're physically doing things that would be very conducive, as opposed to somebody else whose name I won't mention. I commented to them, you chant like you're a sack of potatoes. I won't mention the name, but they know who I mean. And you can't be attentive, so, it's a compliment. Now, I asked Tamara to please be ready to have the drama right now. Are you ready? Are the actors and actresses ready? Okay, invite them in. So we're going to shift gears. And part of the reason for this is at the end of the drama, so Amrita Kelly can do the Amrita Kelly, and so that we can have a little kirtan after you do what you're going to do. I'd like to end with a kirtan. And Uma, can you lead the kirtan at the end? She's pointing at Sri Rupa. Sri Rupa's pointing at Uma. You chant together. You're a good team. Okay, so here come our actors and the coordinator. Do you need a microphone? Would you like a microphone to introduce what's going to happen next? Yes, okay, good. I thought so. Someone that has a microphone, give Amara a microphone. Now, where do you want us to sit? Do we stop? Do we sit right where we are? They come, I move out and they stand here? What do you want? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.